I feel you quaking in the seams of my shirt. I've worn this lie so thin that it hurts, and I'm aching for this shield to unravel and for its pieces to fall to the earth. I cannot see you, but I know you're there, and as far as I can tell, you are everywhere, and I don't quite know where this darkness ends and your skin begins. You're everywhere, and I don't quite know where this darkness ends. My footsteps light me tread this sacred ground. There's no need to look back. Within this moment is the only thing to be found. This feeling is ancient, your skin like the earth. Oh, what I'd give to lay down in the dirt. And how do you measure the worth of the ground that you stand on? The air hangs like a veil in between us. Skin so pale, you look like a poltergeist, and I don't dare reach out and touch you for fear that you might turn to dust. Follow my footsteps. Lightly we tread this sacred ground. La 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 la. There's no need to look back. Within this moment is the only thing to be found. All these barriers, they are so thin. Can you not let me in? Oh, this world of ours, it quickly spins. Oh, can anyone tell me what is sin? Follow my footsteps. Lightly we tread this sacred ground. La 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 la. There's no need to look back. Within this moment is the only thing to be found.
Welcome to Starseed Rhapsody.
Yay!
Yeah, today we are so honored to have Grace with us here, and I just want to tell you this is a calling that been calling me to come together with you and like this, and we can share. Yeah, just holding this sacred space together with you is such an honor.
Oh, it's such an honor with you too.
Yeah. Do you want to open the space for us, Grace?
Oh, what would you like?
Yeah, just like say a prayer.
Thank you for the highest frequency only, to the universe, to Mother Gaia, to the Lord, to the guardian angels, to Buddha, to Tara, to Kuan Yin. I'm just thankful and so grateful to be here with Daisy, opening this space, this sacred space, and for both of us to hold space for each other, to see where this unfolds, where this will, yeah.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
the space is open. So there's so much that we can share about. So you kind of like witness all those years my growth and how I slowly evolve and we always been together. And
Yes.
yeah, it's truly beautiful. And this is kind of like my first step, and finally wanted to like step up and share what I gathered in related to the learning of different dimension. And so right now, our focus is about this learning of the third dimension, which is from the freedom teaching, the Kasara teaching is based on that, but there's also other involvement with like a Chinese medicine and meridian system, and also from my mentor Raven's 100 chakra system. So it's combination of all of them, not just one school. So yeah, so this is my basic like intention is to be able to weave all of those teachings of Starseed teachings together, and so we can all get together and to have a full disclosure of what we are learning, and how can we tap into our body and to feel different part of the body, and then we know how we can open up the inner universe as well as the outer universe. So with that, let me share a screen. Oh, first I wanna see what is your understanding of chakra?
Chakra, that's like what makes everything flow with our bodies. I know there's over like thousands of chakras, but we focus on the 7 mostly when we meditate or need some sort of clearing or some sort of inner work within ourselves, in our chakras. So yeah. I forgot what they were. I know there's the root chakra, the solar plexus, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown, correct? Or am I missing something?
Yeah, it's basically the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, and then the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown. This is the basic understanding. But as you're sharing, what come to me is like it's kind of like a portal gateway where we see the very essence of our
Yes.
soul,
Yeah.
and there's so much packed understanding of the chakra system. Like for instance, based on Chinese medicine, we believe we have 2 types of soul. One type is the ethereal soul, where we gain our heavenly wisdom, like directly from the upper realm. And there's another type called corporeal soul, which is all of our compact energy body are located. So my understanding is like the upper chakra is more like the ethereal soul, where the ethereal soul resides, like a different gateway where it resides, and the lower chakra where our density body, like emotional body, kind of reside. And again, when I say density, there is no like way I saying it's good or bad. It's just how like we can in a measurable way can feel the difference. And again, there's the lower realm, like that lower chakra holds so much deep wisdom there. Like we're gonna be talk about how indigenous people practice anchoring and grounding the energy of the lower realm, and how as we're living in modern days, we can learn from the ancient wisdom, indigenous culture, and how we can be more grounded and living a mindful life and fulfilling life. Because when we truly step into our bodies, that's all the magic can unfold and manifest.
Yes. I wouldn't have said it any more clearer than that. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, so like there's also different teaching talk about the chakras, like you know how we think about the nebulous. Actually, this one goes back to this concept that we're going to be talk about today. There's one big alignment right now that's happening. It's a conjunction of the, so right now we're at Libra new moon, but it's the sun is in conjunction with the super galactic center, which is a huge event that's actually happening right now. I think this is like twice a year we can experience that. One time it is spring equinox, another time is a fall equinox. And during this two time, it's like the earth and also all sentient being has the chance to be aligned with kind of like where this is the source energy, where everyone all connected with. So it's like a cosmic chiropractic alignment. We get this chance to get fully grounded, and from
It's
that,
like a carousel or a Ferris wheel.
yeah, oh, this is a very good way of putting it. It is feel like that. Yeah, maybe I can share about the image, kind of like how we think about the toroidal field, but there is a big opening, and one is pulling downward, and that downward movement is towards this very big portal. It's called M87. That's the astronomical name, or that's one of the large black hole. It holds so much, like more than 130 galaxies, and over 3, if I'm correct, over 3 trillions of sun in that system. When we tapping into that, we will be able to feeling fully like nourished and healed through this source code. What it does, see, there's a lot of things like when I learning about this, there's a lot of learning I have to redo. Is like, how can we like reverse how we think about the black hole? Right? Because this is
Stigma with the black hole.
I think people in general has a stigma related to the darkness. Just like, for instance, right now, with equinox, we have equal daytime and nighttime suddenly turn around. We're gonna have like longer darkness, and how do we face our own inner darkness? Because the season is access to turning inwardly, be more reflective, and connecting with that part of the self, and learning how to feeling into inner nourishment, embodied self, which is kind of like the message what the earth, the ancient mother earth, always teaching us to be connect. We already have abundant of everything within our own body, within earth.
Yes, that's correct.
And yeah, absolutely. And the same way with that source imagine this is where it coming
Where
out
we,
magic.
this is where we manifest everything. That inner circle within the loops, that's where the energy flows.
Yeah, it's also where like when we think about the galactic system, the white hole, and it's all coming from this coming inward energy, and from this inward and coming outward. So it's like the richness, the fertile soil, where all like a source code are all coming from and generate from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you. Let me share with you. One of my friends shared about this supergalactic center. So the supergalactic center is mysterious superstructure of the universe, not a fixed star, but an incredible whirlpool of cosmic materials. It is the very center of the known and observable universe as seen from the Earth. This powerful black hole devours everything in sight and has a mass of 30 trillion suns. An impossibly large concentration of matter, energy, light, and power. According to Philip Sagwick, the supergalactic center channels a profound healing energy direct from source. The supergalactic center is the greatest channel for soul retrieval of any point in the universe. It demands that you get in there and deal with yourself. It is essential that you do so. It is also unavoidable. It will happen.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. So what happened is that's the 0 point that we always talk about. How do we come back to that 0 point? How do we be able to surrender fully to that 0 point place? So this is how we get healed, is through this 0 point space. Yeah. So sorry, I'm gonna spend a little bit more time talk about this supergalactic center. Is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So as the timelines change with new data direct from the new sphere, expect a much bigger, more intense bandwidth of experience. The more you withdraw your energy from anything external that leads to soul defragmentation, the more energy you have the more energy you have available to self-sustain, self-generate, and self-realize, and the more energized, present, and alive you become. So basically, the easily you are able to surrender and also staying in the self content and kind of like when we're more present in our body, and it's more easily to surrender and become more like alive, renewable through this portal. So draw up an absolute yes or no list based on your core values. What is so essential to you? It feels like a breathing. Then whenever a choice arises, listen to your body signals. If it's not an absolute yes, it's a definite no. Start paying close attention to that yes or no in all your encounters. Notice the instant physical feedback. Does it drain you or fill you with energy? Draw your tribe closer and release relationships and old alliances no longer on your wavelengths. You are realigning with yourself, and as you do so, the field around you also realigns. If you're feeling, as so many of us sensitives are, down, depleted, drained, alone, or in a void, like floating on the Dead Sea, know that you are not fading, falling, or failing out, but energetically detaching from the ending of many planetary cycles. the past is withdrawing from us, and we are in the process of disabling of the past. So all the old timeline, whatever no longer serving, will be naturally falling off. It is very interesting. What come to me is also we have 7 planets going through retrograde, and a lot of time people have a fear listening to the word retrograde, because especially when it come to Mercury retrograde, we thought there's something gonna go wrong. But actually, considering the whole constellation of the star system galactic, when you look at it, the whole sky is in counterclockwise rotation. In that sense, when we see retrograde, means maybe it means they're actually going forward. So all the planets, when they retrograde, they're actually going home, going into oneness with the source code. So that means when all the planetary going retrograde, it's just like us when we're doing our own inner self-care and self-realignment, recalibration, and retuning inward what my soul is calling for, what's my purpose on earth. So it's that reflective period of time. That's why in our life, it's gonna happen. Whatever the outward universe no longer align with our life, it will naturally falling off. Whatever timeline not aligned, it probably can happen drastically. That's why people are afraid of Mercury retrograde. Maybe it's because our life already fucked up, but we're not aware of that. and only when those seasons happen, and then we have this awareness, kind of like a wake up call on the door, and just so loudly, just we have to address that. It's like truly like shaking our soul in such a deep level, and so we can fully see who we are, what we are here for.
Does this also include with deja vu?
That's so interesting you asked deja vu. So do you know how I think about deja vu?
What is there? What do you think?
So like I mentioned before with you, that seeing ourselves as a cosmic being, we are much bigger than this human suit. And in that sense, we are beyond like gender. We are beyond male or female, or dark or light. We are like a quantum. And in that sense, the past and the future all happen at the same time, because in a higher dimension, there is no time-space spectrum. And in that sense, when we tap into that inner soul knowing, we always like be with multiple dimension, multiple timeline, multiple life storyline all together. But only once in a while we're able to tap into that dimensional space. It's kind of like you know, you watch like we kind of like all watch oh, give me 1 second. I'm not sure, have you watched The Matrix before?
Yes.
Okay, so in The Matrix, you know, like it's the Neo, before he breaks the Matrix, and he kind of like how to say it, when we in the Matrix, we feel the life is so real, but when we suddenly break out of the Matrix, we know there's another higher plan that's playing. And then so there's multiple like programming that's going on, right, in 3D level. So in that sense, the deja vu is your higher self suddenly seeing through beyond the computer programming. And then yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead. I love your questions.
Do you think that the deja vu connects with fortune telling or being a medium?
It's certainly tapping into that gift, and I think everyone all have that gift. It just only so my understanding is that we are all gods with layers of amnesia. This is just something about my
Yes, it's like we have our own inner pendulum. Like we just know.
Yes, yeah, we just know that. Yeah, we naturally know because that's the God part of ourselves. That's how give us life, give us the spirit to be alive on earth. It just we have tendency have falling into layers of dementia, amnesia, and then we forgot. And then deja vu is kind of like, oh, we suddenly pop out of it. I was like, oh wow, I didn't know this gonna happen. But my
I
world, yeah.
yeah, I think if we tap into like a clearing of our chakras, we can be even more in tuned into that power.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can
It's something.
broaden our manifestations and we can predict our own future within that.
Yeah, the future prediction. I yeah. Oh, this is
You
so
know that like the inner sense knowing that you know something's gonna happen, then it happens.
yeah, I start noticing this actually for a while that um so ever since I was little I have dreams like whenever there's a big thing gonna happen in life, and my dream actually will tell me how the landscape, how it's gonna play out. And I always have this sense I know something just gonna happen and in what way. And I think in the dream world it's when we most clear and seeing and connecting with the self in a true sense. And that's why we are seeing through the God eye and we can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I purge more when I'm sleeping than I am awake because I could really feel everything when I'm in my waking state because it's more emotional and more draining when you're awake in the actual life and you're purging, when you're like in your state of mind. But when you're sleeping, you can take all that density and make it into, whatever you want.
Oh yeah, I love that. So um yeah, seeing the emotion, seeing density, seeing any sort of experience on earth from a place of inner blissfulness and feeling that is the renewable source, like forever fountain of youth. Like that,
Exactly.
right? Like the
Yeah.
treasure box.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's just like a take a different angle of seeing it. Stop beating up the self for that, but turn it around. And so it's like before this density of emotion maybe kind of like a bottom at the very bottom, like the umbrella, upside down umbrella. It's holding up all those, but once in a while you flip it over, it's almost like the blessings raining down. You just enjoy that, allow that blessing just coming in fully.
It makes me kind of feel like, the black and white and in between, or like the white and the black and the black and the white. You know what I mean? Kind of like what's that called? Like the peace sign. Like what is it called with the white and black?
Oh, you talking about the yin yang symbol?
Yes, yin yang. Wait, what?
Oh, this is so cool. You're talking about this. Yeah, so there's a way of like a spiritual path. There's a life path. There's a right path, and so there's a white path and there's the black path. So my understanding is a lot of modern spirituality, even the new age teaching, are very focused on the light path.
Right.
And then oftentimes it there's the good part of it is seeing it from a place of light and like chasing after light and feeling into the light. But sometimes if we are running away from our body and it tend to become more illusional, and that's when the black path can offer us wisdom is to be embodied through embodied experience like dancing, singing, and engagement.
Creativity.
Yeah, with life, or even just cooking a meal. Yeah, can heal our own body. Just have that inner dialogue.
Those
with-
coping skills, those coping mechanisms or therapy skills,
Yeah,
that creativity.
yeah, creativity, and it holds so much deep wisdom, because just like the fertile earth, when you look at the earth, has that deep wisdom and so much rich and deep fertile soil. Actually, talking about that remind me of one of my writing that so in one of my dream, I had a dream that in this planet, everybody has this habit of bury things. It's kind of like you always living by the near fresh soil, and whatever your waste is, you just bury it, kind of like our food scrap or whatever waste. And in this dream, I saw people live really long age, and one of the guy, older man, and he's, I suppose that he's supposed to be die at a certain age, but for like people thought he already passed away, and then he woke up again. And then I can see it clearly in the dream time how it happened is because when he does the practice of burying part of your soul essence, buried together with the soil. And the soil is where the true alchemical magic happen. And your soul, after the deep hibernation, come back alive, and it bring him back alive too.
I feel like that's like some sort of like sacrifice of your own pride or well-being to bury whatever's left over to make it into something even more grand.
That's the whole concept we're talking about, super galactic, right? The black hole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just fully surrender into that space of formless and genderless, and
Vulnerability.
yeah, and then you come back brand new.
Yes. Like the circle of life. I love
Yes.
it.
That's so beautiful. I love your reflection.
I love your reflection.
Thank you. Is it okay I read my poem?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, let me share my screen, and you can see it. So the topic of this poem is what would make it heaven on earth for me today. Lately, I start appreciating the magic of earthly soil more, like gathering little bit of treasures that have already randomly scattered around me in life. I am slowly picking up certain good old habits, such as composting, offering food scraps to my potted plants, witnessing them smiling and saying thank you to me. The golden dragon fruit tree holding a big fertile womb, so graciously taking all the earthly nutrition in. Doing some inner alchemical magic, turning all scraps and junks into chunks of black soil, into some deep dark void and inner magic, where all things, good or bad, useful or non-useful, all things going back home. Home, the place where our dried skeleton and thirsty scorched heart coming back to full blooming robust muscles and fertile rounded buttocks. Where one drop of blood mixing within the river of rejuvenating large waters, refilled, replenished, returning to the original sense of myself, with all my senses reborn and rebirthed within my full blossoming, flourishing soul. Home where I can taste nourishing love in the air, laughters in grandma's old kitchen. Family gatherings in circles, making dumplings, mooncakes, homemade soups, and noodles all together around one large round table. While the table is marked with rows of dumplings, balls, and bread doughs, ready to be serviced, be part of the hot, joyous food bowls of tasty, yummy magic. There will be music playing on the background, Grandpa sharing his old-time epic stories when he traveled across oceans, mountains, and valleys, and eventually landed home with Grandma, home where all our ancestors reside, gathering and sharing all the heartfelt, valley-filled, satisfying, and gratifying dreams and stories, where we all can meet and merge into one big stirring soup pot, stirring, turning, and mixing into one wholesome homemade meal, a meal that feeds one belly and nourishes all aspects of the soul and heart.
Wow, that was so satisfying. Like after eating a whole home cooked meal, making me hungry. That was beautiful. Oh my gosh, I could feel everything. I could feel like the warm sensation of the food going down and reaching my warm belly, and just the soup and making me all hot and everything. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, so this is like true sense how I feel about that's the magic of the darkness. When we truly embodying and embracing that inner nourishing soil, and that's a very satisfying place.
Aww, I love it.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, this is something that has been like brewing on the back of my head, and understanding how do I fully like honoring this body. And this is very interesting wisdom that I learned is that so our body is like on third dimension, right? The physical body mixed with the consciousness and the mind field of the fourth dimension. However, within our body, it's made of blood, which is kind of like iron crystal cells, the crystalline structure. And all those, or the bone, is also a different form of crystalline structures. So in that sense, it's always vibrating in oneness with the iron core crystal of the earth, which is the first dimension. And the second dimension is actually the vibration is much slower. It's kind of like the sense, the true sense of the richness of the mineral, the crystal, and it's all in the second dimension. So a lot of time our body, our problem is that we need to listen to our body, because the body kind of like moves slower than our mind, and we need to, right?
Yes, I feel like the more, like, especially for women, when they have their flow of the cycle of the month, like those clots that are formed, you could feel and sense, you could just taste it, the iron within when you see it, like in the water, down below you in the toilet, like you could just sense that vibration and that feeling of like the iron within the blood, and then like how you ground yourself within the earth with the blood, even when you don't do offerings for Gaia, you know what I mean? You can still feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good way of putting it. Wow, yeah, I got so much download related to the blood. So in the okay, there's a saying, let me see if I can find the quote. Indigenous wisdom talking about how do we honor our blood.
And sometimes you could feel like that the frequency, the energy when that happens, when even the sight of blood, you could feel it like as if it was running down your leg to your feet, the energy. And then you could feel yourself ground within the earth.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you're right. The grounding sensation through communicating with our body.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You
because
can feel it through your fingers sometimes, kind of like static.
yes. Oh wow, this is so cool. Yeah, you're already tapping into. So in the second dimension is called a telluric field. TELLURID. So it has this rings, kind of like you think about when we look at the water, when one drop of water has a ripple effect, just rippling out. It's the same way with the landscape. The landscape, it naturally has this, which is another name. It's an electromagnetic field, and you can feel that right in the
Yeah, yeah.
that's that kind of oneness with that wisdom.
Kind of feels like as if you know when the earthquake is coming without it coming yet.
Uh-huh. Yes, you can certainly feel that. That's kind of like how animal always be able to feel because they are more in tune with the body. It's not like some kind of like woo kind of like something like unable to depict. It's in our body. If we tap into our body, we can get that gift too. Just like all the animal, how can they sense that?
But do you think that there's like different levels into feeling frequencies within your blood depending on how thick or how thin or the color of or the texture of the blood?
Um, so everyone has their own connection with the earth, and this tap into the very origin. I actually did a recent test in one of my teacher's website, and so there's a different archetype, and you can do the test and then find out what is your lineage. So like a lot of time, it's not about the physical blood, it's
Right,
the soul essence of the
right.
lineage. And for me, what I'm finally understand what I'm tapping into is the very first woman who bleed. Think about that would be probably even like millions of years ago, right?
Yeah,
So tapping into that and feel that woman, because think about my mom's mom, my grandma's mom, and we can trace all the way back who is that very first woman and connect with that.
yeah. It's amazing how like sometimes within the DNA you could like sense like other people's knowing or like thinking or doing, especially if you like combine DNAs within like if you have intimacy, you just have that inner knowing within each other like without even communicating, like telekinesis.
Yeah, so because okay, I am getting download. It's like
I'm getting downloads too.
yeah, I'm getting download related to that. So our womb is just like the void has infinite eye, inner
Mm,
eye. Does that make sense? And
yes.
inner eye is kind of like a wormhole, can direct us to different dimensions and places. We can quantum jump through connecting with our womb space. And that's why when we have a partner and whatever tension that going on in their life, the tension is kind of like electromagnetic field.
Right, right.
The Earth's landscape has different tension, and it hold manifests in the person's body in certain shape. And when we have intimate relationship with someone, we will also absorb that tension, absorb part of the tension of the landscape signature that carried by that person, and we will carry that too, which is kind of interesting that we can open up other dimension and to see beyond, but at the same time also require us to be more willing to surrender, and because there can be more density of emotion if the person wasn't ready to handle, and we're gonna be that container to help them to absorb and to kind of like digesting, and how to fully turning that into light, into how to say, just like the soil, like earlier we talked about the dragon fruit tree, how it kind of just also the same metaphor people talk about the lotus flower, how you turning into dark soil into something beautiful and blossoming it out. So it's like, think about all those like darkness and deeply packed away the person, or even generation of generation, that impact that person or landscape, the partner not able to handle, and we're gonna be that black hole, reabsorb the energy field of that person, and then we're gonna turn this dark soil, and then eventually we blossoming out this lotus flower, and then present to him, and then tell him, this is your ancestor gift.
Do you think it's a little bit, do you think it's a little bit unfair to be carrying those burdens, those densities within the DNA? But unless you already have that commitment within your partner, say it's not your partner, it's like an unwillingness within your body. That's why your body is such a temple, because you have to nurture it and know your boundaries within yourself to let things come in and out of your personal bubble, you know?
So I used to see it that way, but then I kind of like that go back to the concept of people think about substance abuse or codependency, or what I'm saying, because feel the need to running away of certain reality or emotion not able to face, and using certain substance or relationship or codependency to be able to find inner salvation through a substance. So there's nothing wrong of seeking comfort in certain way, but there's also a way how to honor the spirit of the substance, honor the walk the journey together, because all of those are extremely powerful shamanic tools. The sacred body temple, or the sacred tobacco medicine, or the sacred alcohol, also has its own like a shamanic lineage, especially related to medicine women lineage, how we use that. So that's why, like, to see it as a spiritual companion, how they walk the journey, how those spirits walk the journey together with us, so we can see our own soul more clearly. So to me, in that sense, no path right or wrong. It eventually lead to the place where we can see ourselves more clearly. It just maybe temporarily a little bit more deviated from our center, but eventually,
Everything happens for a reason, right?
Exactly. Even those person that we screw up around in life, maybe there's a pre-signed up contract. Those showed up in our life for a reason, in such a drastic way, to point us more clearly what is not aligned with my soul.
Right. Wow. That's amazing. And also, like, sometimes it's unfair in ways that some people might have, like, can't have children, yet they can still feel so much density within their DNA with their partner. People who accidentally have children feel that density too. So is it like, you know what I mean?
So okay, this come back to the whole concept of whether we're ready to see our own pure naked self, the true pure inner child. Because what children means, or even a pet, when it showed up in our life in such a vulnerable and naked way, and showing us, this is you. I am the reflection of your inner child. Are you ready to let go of layers amnesia and see how you truly are? But when people are not ready, and every time when they see the children or the pet, and it may trigger them, they see it as a burden instead of seeing it as a chance of awakening, reconnecting with the soul.
Wow, beautifully said. Yeah, I've been having so much download with this womb healing.
Yeah, it is truly this way, because even the children a lot of time, I think the burden aspect, it comes with this kind of like a materialistic programming. We too much get lost in the obsessiveness about things that's on the surface. Like I said, actually, let me share something very quick. Like for instance, like this is just a regular piece of citrine crystal, and sometimes I show people Andorra crystal. I sometimes have some around here, but not now. But people ask me, is it glass? It's like I answer them, it's like the same way when you look at the sun. Is it just a ball of fire, a ball of warmth, or are you seeing the brilliant spirit beyond the thing that you're seeing? It's like you're seeing with your heart, you're seeing it with your soul. You recognize the soul of the sun, you recognize the soul of the crystal. You, in a similar sense, when we do like a moon ritual, we are not like connecting with our eyes or on the physical surface. I am not this hair, I am not this clothing, I'm not this necklace, but I am something beyond, just like the pulsating.
Being the soul.
Yes, the soul of the moon, the soul of the sun. There is a bigger sun and more brilliant spirit beyond the sun on the surface. There's also equally luminous spirit beyond the moon, or maybe moon beyond the moon, just like soul beyond the soul. That's why we have so many lower layers of oversoul.
But is it different from seeing your aura?
So with aura, wow, okay, I have very rarely be able to see an aura while I'm awake, but in my trance space, I did have chance to see some of my friends' aura. It's truly remarkable sensation when I do see it. So recently, actually not recent, there quite a while that I'm able to tap into my guide, or maybe the guide is actually indeed part of my higher self. When I tap into them, you know, our human mind tend to ask, oh, is it a male or female, or which dimension you're coming from? What's your name? But one of them, one that I tap into, and I asked my teacher Raven, and she said, he told you. Oh, I mean, we use it here, but actually, he said, I claim to no gender and no form. So in that sense, we are all that. No gender, no form. We're only temporarily borrowing this physical temple from Mama Gaia Earth, and eventually even this human suit we're giving back.
That's true. Wow. That's amazing. Wow. I love this conversation.
Thank you. I love this too. Let's do it more often. Maybe tomorrow, or if
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chris. Do you want to pull a card?
Yeah. I'll pull a card from the Rider Tarot deck and also my love deck. So let's see. General reading for today. Let me do the regular tarot deck. Hold on, I'm gonna shuffle it for a minute. Give me a few. One more for good luck. Ooh, we got the High Priestess. We got feminine energy. Talking about the womb healing and all that. We're all going through it. We're all gonna tap into our feminine energy, manifest into whatever we need that's like, that's necessary, that's nurturing within our life. Doesn't mean you gotta exclude the masculine necessarily, but I believe this is for only for today's reading for the High Priestess. You are the goddess of you within yourself. You are your own creator. You are your own womb. Even men have their own womb, So yeah, this is a really good card.
Yeah, you see the black and white on both sides.
Yes. We were talking about that black and white. It's black, it's white.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And then let me pull another card from my love oracle deck.
Yeah, let me read one of the quotes my teacher said. So this is from the 13 Moon Mystery School teaching. She said, I am neither male nor female. I am neither left nor right. I am that I am, beyond day and night. I am the mystery of the triple flame. I am the snake with wings. I am the moon that burns. I am the sun as she sings. I am the heart that reveals a star. I am, we are, the collective avatar.
I pulled this card pulled out by itself, abundance. Be grateful for the little things. I believe abundance can be in any form, whether you get a task done, you do a chore, you get shit done, it's a form of abundance. Also, like, doesn't necessarily have to be like prosperity or to prosper in any way. It's like the satisfaction within yourself of completion. So yeah, abundance.
Yes, it's feeling that abundance by being fully present and content with the self.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that kind of feeling. A lot of our struggle is coming from this place of like stress about expectation. So, this is a good one. One of my teachers,
That's a good one.
one of my teachers shared, what is the ego? Ego is fear plus hope. So like for me, like learning how to let go of the fear is the first step, and learning how to let go of hope, the expectation, is the second step.
Yeah. So we got the High Priestess and abundance. Oh, that feels so good. Just best reading.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. I
And
think
it's all very feminine energy. So maybe you're gonna connect with a feminine today, or within yourself if you're already a female.
Yeah. There's one quote I want to read to you from Rumi.
Okay.
So this comes from a dialogue, and this person, he was meditating and connecting with the source, and he was praying, and then suddenly he stopped falling asleep, and then suddenly he dreamed of his guide talking to him, and the guide asked him, why did you stop praising? And he said, because I've never heard anything back. And then the guy said, this longing you express is the return message. The grave you cry out from draws you towards union. your pure sadness that wants help. It's a sacred cup.
Wow. I feel like that cup, you're always filling it and it's pouring out even more. Even if it like has a hole, it's still full of that abundance.
Yeah, and
It's holding a space, a figure of what you want to present yourself within the human eye rather than the whole picture.
yeah, and that cup is that concept, the
That goblet,
and the cosmic womb, right?
that holy grail.
That's the same concept. We can probably talk more on that next time too.
Yeah.
Mm.
I love this.
I love this too. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you, Daisy.
Thank
I have learned so much from you today, all the time, but even more in depth and having your opinions and wisdom within within these times.
Thank you. Yeah, I love you ask all those amazing questions and reflection. Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
I'm so grateful too. Much gratitude, Daisy. I love you.
Love you too. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
You too. Love you.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye.